Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Nakamoto Games, and we mentioned it previously on another video, listed our top 5 metaverse picks, as well as that wild card. If you enjoy this kind of content, I definitely recommend staying till the end of this video, liking, commenting, and subscribing. That way you can be up to date with all this information as it's coming out. But before we continue, I just need you to remember one thing. This is not financial advice, and everything here is strictly for news and opinion and research purposes. So with that in mind, you should be able to enjoy the content in this video. So like I said, Nakamoto Games. I mentioned it previously in our top picks as a wild card pick because of how small it was and like the circulating supply against the market cap, and for reasons of like it looks kind of cool. And more or less, I'm going to break it down for you guys, give a little bit of like a deep dive explanation as to why I think it's at least worth holding a small bag of it. Maybe not a huge one, but at least a small bag to consider. So it's currently down from its all-time high quite a bit. Even just from today, it dropped about 60 cents. So it's a pretty big dip, and this might actually be a decent entry point for this game. I mean, for this coin, because of the games that are coming out with it. So as I mentioned, it's a $15 million market cap, which is tiny, against a 6 million circulating supply, meaning that the supply is so small that if a lot of money pours into it, this could move up parabolically very quickly. That's one of the reasons why I would at least hold a small bag. It's a risky play. It's definitely not like some of the other plays that I've mentioned on this channel before. This is something more that you're going to see it when it's cheap. It's worth getting into, because if it spikes up, you're going to want to be on that train. And then in which case you would sell half to 3/4 of it and then move on with your life and leave your little moon bag. Now, there's a bigger max supply. The max supply is 180 million, but what's circulating is only 6. So it's like long term, I could see the tokenomics making sense, and we're going to go over that a little bit more in this video. Now, like I said, drop of 60 cents. This could potentially be the price point to get in at. And now I guess I'm going to show you two. This is where you could get it. These two exchanges right here, KuCoin and Uniswap. So that's more or less that. Now we're going to check out the website. So this is the website, Nakamoto Games. They're basically doing play-to-earn blockchain games, and they want to, I guess, put gamified earning to the next level on blockchain games. So like the ability to earn and generate money, as well as like do things on a higher level than what they already have. You know, like you choose the game you want, you play it, and then you earn. Super simple layout. And as you can see right here, they got cute little designs. Like the way the avatars are designed and the way it's looking, it looks cute. It looks cool. It almost looks a bit like Nintendo. And Nintendo, as we could see throughout the years, has always been a pretty awesome game console. It's always been popular. Even when it's slumped against PlayStation and Xbox and other consoles, Nintendo will always be Nintendo. And if it gives me that kind of vibe, and I think that it's going for that kind of vibe, I wouldn't be surprised to see this integrated into Nintendo's world eventually. Now, that's pretty much the simple thing. It tells you here too, you could play as a player, or you could develop on their blockchain to create play-to-earn games, which is awesome. I like that whole concept of being able to create games that earn you money. I think that's where it's going, especially with the esports world. They talk about how the token is used to play, earn, and for governance. And, like that's more or less the simplest thing I could go over. You have the roadmap here where it talks about like they're listing on 2 dexes. We hit these points more or less. All these things on the roadmap up to this point has more or less been hit. Right now they're developing their second gaming option called Airplane Warriors. And their Duck Hunters was a astounding success by the testers who played the beta, and we'll go over that in a minute. So they've been good with their roadmaps so far, and for me, like, granted, fine, their Q2, their 2022 roadmap hasn't been developed heavily yet, but all of their targets in 2021 have been hit so far, and it's still a very new coin. So the fact that it's so new and it's so small, and they are hitting their roadmap targets, and they have more to come in 2022, it means that this project likely has room to grow. Now, I'm going to break down the light paper a little bit, because for me, like I said, it's kind of important to look at a light paper. Now, it's not like super in depth and professional as you would see like more like business oriented, like Ethereum white papers, or like quant white papers, or anything like that. Like this is, you could tell it's like a gaming white paper. Everything looks really nice. It's pretty, appealing to the eye. You could tell that they actually put in some actual, they put in quite a bit of love to it, from my understanding. And like you see here, I'm going to quote this: "The online gaming industry has been quickly growing, and blockchain is playing a bigger and bigger role in the industry. Play-to-earn crypto games are among the most exciting developments in the field of blockchain-based gaming, but play-to-earn development is still rudimentary. Many play-to-earn games have poor user experience, and there's no single place for gamers to choose from a selection of cutting-edge play-to-earn games. Nakamoto Games Lightpaper will provide a background in the gaming industry and the emergence of both blockchain and play-to-earn games as major movements in online gaming. We will review the current limitations, so on and so forth." And more or less, you guys could check out the light paper. It's going to be on the description in this video, but you could see they're tackling one of the main problems with blockchain gaming, and that is the fact that everything is extremely simple and one-dimensional. Meaning like you get your one game and it has that one function. Whereas this is saying like we could have multiple games on the same platform with different functions. So they're basically taking that next step to create real games on the blockchain, and not just like, click a button, now you mine something, boom, click this, it farms, okay, you're going to, bam, all right, you spent some energy. It's like they want to create actual games that give you those same rewards, but for fun. So I could see that becoming something. And like you can see here, this is like a bit of like how their duck hunter is looking. Like these are some simple pictures. Go here, you see the team and their LinkedIn profiles, and the conclusion. Now we'll go to the next one here too. So this is an article. Nakamoto Games wants to build the ultimate pay-to-play ecosystem, and it's now live on KuCoin. This was in October 15th, so it's been exactly 1 month, more or less, it's been launched. And this is like how the gameplay goes, and it's basically VR duck hunting. And one of the interesting things is they basically make it so that your ammos are NFTs, your guns are NFTs, and everything is interchangeable to that degree. And people who grew up with the original Nintendo Entertainment System will look at Duck Hunt and be like, oh, hey, this is a nice little nostalgic moment. And they're offering us a VR version that's coming. That's kind of cool. This could be something cool. And they might be able to catch some of the older crowds for these kinds of games, even if it's just for a little bit. And they might even get the younger people, because it's like, oh, hey, that was something in the 80s. Let's see how they do it now, 30 or 40 years later. So I guess like that's definitely, this is definitely a pretty good breakdown of how it's going to look, how it's going to feel. I also wanted to mention here too that they even have like the reviews. So Nakamoto Games Duck Hunter receives exemplary feedback from beta testers, and this was in November 4th, meaning that 2 weeks after the launch, people played the beta, and then they gave their 2 cents on the matter. Now, as you can see here, players are awarded NAKA tokens for completing missions, and the game is already live on Polygon Mumbai testnet. So beta testers were able to connect and play after connecting a Web3 wallet like MetaMask. And then, from there, they gave their feedback. So we'll go over the feedback. Registration was no problem. The letter to the mail came within 1 minute. Believe me, this is not unimportant. Then I entered and received the code, logged into a new account, gave a name, an avatar, and I would like to point out that everything works clearly and does not lag. Nice. Next one. Congratulations. Most gaming platforms don't even have an MVP yet. NAKA is miles ahead in a quarter of the time. Platform looks great, and game runs perfectly well. Looking forward to launch. Nice interface. Like the use of the dark theme. Tabs open quickly, and I didn't find any freezes. Next. Overall great experience. A few ideas I have recommended for improvement. The game plays great. The site loads fast, even on my old MacBook. And I'm going to be buying more NAKA soon. Please send my congratulations to the team. And lastly, it would be great to see a lot more details on the end screen. Even on other player statistics are nice to have and can drive some to try and improve. Stats such as shots fired, shots missed, accuracy percentage, consecutive shot sprees, red birds hit, average bird hit distance, etc. So basically the only major critique was that they just want more stats so that people could like really become stat whores on this game. And as you can see here, that's a pretty solid run, especially for a blockchain game, because most blockchain games are really simple. And this is looking like it's onto something. Now, more or less the last thing too that I wanted to mention was this. As you can see here, Nakamoto joins BitBoy crypto show. Now, I mentioned this on Blogtopia. I don't really like BitBoy, but he knows how to make money. So, NAKA mentions that they're here. This was on November 10th. Together with the mainnet, we launched 3 games, and NAKA is the fuel for each game. Be ready. And by the way, the mainnet is launching this month. They mentioned in that right here. So, mainnet launching, 3 games, BitBoy's behind it. Will it pump? Possibly. Likely. Not a promise. This ain't financial advice. But it's worth considering because BitBoy has a tendency of making projects explode just because he has his name on it. And naturally, whether we like him or not, we just got to accept the facts that certain people, whether they're clout masters or not, they make money happen. So for me, I'm not going to bet against it. I'll put a small bag and see what happens. The last time I did that, Blogtopia took off. And I mentioned it in my channel at 1.5 cents. It got to the YouTube at around 2.5 cents. 3 maybe by the time the video was published because we were in an editing spree at that point. And then right to 17 cents after. So if you caught it at 3 cents, that's about, what is that? About 5 almost 6x. So that's solid. That's solid gains, and that's considering that people thought that they were late. This is still pretty early. Keep your eyes peeled for it. The last thing I wanted to mention too was the partners. They have Polygon. They have Black Dragon, which was a pretty big crypto fund. They have Insignious Capital, X21. Like they have people that are big in the cryptoverse. And the thing is like as the cryptoverse gets bigger and bigger, all these brands that like are crypto focused brands that people haven't heard about, like investment funds that people haven't heard about, they're becoming more and more popular. And you're starting to notice a trend that when these guys put their names together, it looks good. So Polygon's likely to be big in the future in terms of gaming. So I think that's more the aspect that Polygon wants to tackle, because I've seen them focusing a lot on blockchain games recently. And I think that's more or less what's going to wrap up this video. So guys, if you like this video and you enjoyed what you've seen today, definitely, like I said, like, comment, subscribe. Any questions you want to ask, leave them in the comment section. Patreon should be launching by the time this video is uploaded, so it should be in the source description. And if you want, leave us a little bit of love on it. As well, we're also going to have that conference coming out. The first one is going to be, if not live streamed, it will be put up as a video for you guys to see. And that's going to be the kind of stuff that you're going to see on the Patreon. Whenever you see those beautiful, those beautiful conferences and you see like actual projects happening, because it's going to get bigger and more established. You're going to see more crypto figures as it grows. you're going to be able to catch that as a Patreon exclusive in the future. And to the guy whose name that we couldn't pronounce in the live stream, he said Alien 1. That was your nickname. So every time I see you, I'm gonna know it's you. You're Alien. You're my alien. You're my buddy now. All right. So take care.